Today we're going to spend the day with a very magical being named Blue. She has magical powers, I'm convinced. She hosts an incredible spiritual podcast. She leads people in medicine ceremonies, and she has so much to share and to teach.
Now, according to the Gene Keys, this is a technology that helps us to access the dormant potential within our DNA.
So today, she's going to show us how she lives her daily life and how she uses magic and intention and ceremony to create her reality. Hello! Hi, Lily! You remember me?
Come on in, beautiful.
Thank you. Who do we have here?
This is my man hunk of a boyfriend.
Hi, she pays me to clean her feet.
Love comes in many forms.
So how did you manifest, what did you call him? A man hunk?
Yeah, man hunk.
It was at a beautiful community type breathwork event.
He walked in wearing a backpack, knocked over a genie's lamp. Something came over me and I was like, I have to go grant him 3 wishes. From there, like our love relationship sort of just bloomed. Anyway, that's how our relationship started, and now we built a whole world.
You kind of look like a genie with this hair right now. Like, you look like you would just emerge from a genie's bottle. We must enter this magical space that you've created. Right now, it looks like this is her throne.
Technically, all of the furniture here belongs to the dog, and we are just her humble servants. This is my little altar. I sit here every single morning, and this is where I like to do my mantras, my prayers.
I'm very curious how you start your day, and if you can show me, that would be great.
Yeah, let's do it together.
We'll just go through Blue's entire day.
Why don't we just start from like the moment we wake up?
Round
Like,
up.
come and get in bed with me.
Yeah.
2 minutes and you're already getting in bed with my girl.
Are you jealous?
No.
Better watch out.
Good night, Sky.
Good night, sweetheart.
Dream bright and beautiful. Oh. It's the morning!
New day! Yay!
First hack, keep the phone on airplane mode. Do not turn the phone off of airplane mode until after practice. The first 20 minutes of your day set you up for the rest of the day, which ultimately then sets you up for the rest of your life. So it's really important, because what you do in the small habits creates the intricacy of your whole life. We also like to start the day with snuggles. I don't know if you want to
We can maybe do a little snuggle.
Yay! So the next thing to a highly successful day is making the bed. I was trained in the military.
Oh, yeah.
I was in the Air Force.
You were in the Air Force.
That's right.
How old were you?
I did 2 years at the Air Force at the age of 16, 17 years old.
So now this is sort of something that has carried on into your adult life.
Yes. First and foremost, take all the pillows off and the blankets off. And then make sure that this bottom sheet is nice and tight. Pull this one all the way to the top. Go around the rim. Make it nice and tight. And then we do boop. And then just make sure this, no. There you go.
Perfect.
Perfectly made bed. I like to treat everything as a ceremony. So like the sleeping ceremony, and everything's really all nice and clean and fresh. And then completion of that ceremony means this feels complete. And then move on to the next part of my day, but I can bring all of my energy in as opposed to it fragmenting throughout the day. Alrighty, so then we would migrate over and do the morning practice. This is the space that I like to do my morning practice. I like to start the morning practice by lighting a candle, because the candle lighting signifies that the space is open and that it's anchoring the light. And then I like to burn an incense.
Yes.
And then the chants and the mantras and the mudras are specifically set to pack the wisdom into your body, because life is chaotic and there is everything and anything that you can ever imagine outside of these doors. And if we're not packed into our truth, anchored in our intention, then we can get swayed by the narrative of other people's experiences and other people's truths. And this is when we can feel very ungrounded. So a morning practice is placing the roots into the earth so that when the wind blows, the tree doesn't go anywhere. And so these specific mantras are set to activate certain parts of our consciousness, certain parts of our power. The mantras are basically a prayer that is a vibrational charge that is sent out to the universe. So my auric field is filled now with that vibrational charge when it's been repeated. And there's a mantra that I like to use, which I use these prayer beads, which were gifted to me from Bhutan. The mantra, which was one I can share with you, this one right here.
Let me try and read it. Gate gate paragate parasmangate bodhisvaha. Paragate parasamgate
Bodhisvaha.
bodhisvaha. Great.
I will let you do the prayer bead.
Ooh, yay.
And then you just hold it in, you know, whatever feels most comfortable, but you want to do it so that it's going this way, so that you can move one down. So whenever you've done one, we'll move it down. Okay. Take a deep breath in. Open mouth exhale. Gate parasam gate bodhisvaha. Gate parasam gate bodhisvaha. And then you can sing it. Gate parasam gate bodhisvaha. Gate parasam gate bodhisvaha.
I love that. Every time that I sing mantras, I'm just reminded of how much it puts me in my heart. It's the most soothing thing for me.
You start the day from this place, how much more deeper the roots are into the earth. Every single day, just designated an hour. After a year, your life will significantly be different. And then sometimes I wrap it up with a card pull maybe, and I journal about any insights that came through. I do a meditation. I make out with my dog.
You want to make out? Aww.
Usually after this, then we get into the body and do a hot cold therapy. So it's sauna and cold plunge.
Bring it. This is my jam.
Oh, this feels so good.
So how long do you normally stay in here?
Usually about 35 minutes. Also, when I'm in the sauna, this is my time for like a jam session. Celine Dion.
Great.
Like, she's
I'm down.
Now you're ready for the cold. This is better than any coffee. I usually just like close my eyes and find my happy place because my body is screaming at me.
Or I can interview you while you're in the cold plunge. So Blue, when did you first know you had superpowers?
I'm still uncovering them, but after I studied the Gene Keys, I started realizing that our greatest challenge is also our greatest gift in life, and that every single person on this planet has a superpower if only we are curious enough to find it. Moral of the story, we're not fucked if you really try to know thyself, because once you know thyself, you become unfuckwithable.
Look at Lily. Lily is definitely unfuckwithable.
She did, fam. She didn't get them shoulders in. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Alrighty. So, what do you believe is your superpower on the planet, Sky?
I believe my superpower is inspiring the shift from judgment to curiosity.
Oh, and how do you see yourself to do this?
Well, I believe that we can learn something from everyone and anyone. So when we shift from all of the default judgments that our brain likes to perceive and project onto others and ourselves, and we just start to ask questions, and we start to get curious about what's beyond those judgments, then we can learn the most from everyone and anyone and ourselves.
Brilliant answers for being submerged into freezing cold polar temperatures, says Sky.
Good.
Now we do a dance. Imagine it's like not even 9 a.m. yet.
Yeah.
And everything from this point is like, whoa. So,
I feel great.
Hot shower,
Yeah.
recalibrate, kitchen for a superfood smoothie.
This looks so good. What is this?
So this is usually my breakfast smoothie, and this is action-packed with a lot of nutrients. We have berry medley, some coconut milk, vegan protein powder, almond butter. We also have the mushroom blend, which has 10 different types of mushroom species in it. Cheers.
Oh, it's so good.
I haven't given it a name yet. You want to name it?
Yeah. Blues Berry Cosmic
Creation.
Ah, Blueberry Cosmic Creation.
Yeah.
It's a mouthful, but it sounds brilliant. So after the smoothie, usually the regular flow is over to content creation. So come into my, what once used to be a spare bedroom and now has been transformed into a magical, mystical content creation space.
This is amazing.
This is my podcast set.
It's Deja Blue and the Golden Hands.
And then I thought about the the motto or the theme of like, it's all in God's hands.
These look like God's hands.
We are in God's hands right now. My intention with the podcast is to tap into the capacity of the human potential, and people come to the podcast and they feel inspired, uplifted, activated. In a world of information, can we at least utilize media as medicine?
Well, I know you're normally doing the interviewing, but I would love to flip the roles today, do a little role reversal and interview you on your own podcast set.
Let's do it, I like it.
Where to begin?
Whatever direction you want to go in, my darling.
I'm curious how you began your spiritual path.
I would say that there was multiple catalysts that started my journey inwards. My upbringing was very strict and rigorous, very by the books experience until, I was in my early 20s. I ended up getting a job, 9 to 5, 5 days a week, working in an office, doing emails, sitting in a cubicle 8 foot by 8 foot, and during the weekend, just living for the weekend. That was when I remember meeting a neighbor who was definitely like super interesting and wacky and all of the things, and she told me about magic mushrooms. I was very hesitant and had a lot of fear around it because of all of the programming that I had up until that point. And I remember just the constructs of the fabric of my consciousness just completely come down and see the interconnected nature of the tree and the roots and myself and my relationship with the earth and my relationship with my body and my voice and my movement, and so many things unlocked for me that day. I remember it was one of those days where it's just like nothing's ever going to be the same again. So it started me on a curious path of inquiry, which led to many different technologies and techniques and teachers and guides and the gene keys and many different things that really activated my path.
What challenges have helped you go deeper into your spiritual journey?
One of them that really stands out is about 7 years ago, I was diagnosed with a hereditary hearing disorder, both my brother and I. And we went to the doctors, and basically after an extensive amount of testing, we were given the diagnosis that it's hereditary. It's progressive, meaning that it is getting worse, significantly getting worse, and it's incurable. So there's no known cure based off of Western science that will bring our hearing back. So essentially we have like a certain period of time, 5 to 10 years, until we're completely deaf. And we're just left with that. Being given that news, it's like someone being like, okay, we've got to cut your leg off. Like, sorry about it. So this really catapulted me into the dark night of the soul, beyond the beyond. And I didn't want to be out in public. I couldn't really pick up group conversations anymore. I eventually had to stop doing my job because I couldn't hear on the headsets anymore. And so I spent a large amount of time hermiting in my apartment. I'd cry myself to sleep pretty much every night. I felt very alone. So I started painting and creating, and that's why I started making art. I would paint a lot of lions, and you see probably in my house there's a lion above the fireplace. And that was when, along that journey, I came across the gene keys, which is a technology that helps unlock the potential hidden dormant in your DNA. And I studied that for the past 6 years, and I've done hundreds of sessions with other people now, which was just really just born from my own personal journey to understand, why did I create this in the first place? Because the second that I blame something outside of myself as to why this is happening to me, then I give my power away to do anything about it. So I went on a very deep exploration of, why did I create this deafness in the first place? There's many sides to this and many layers to this, and simultaneously, if I was to condense it and synthesize it into the nugget of what I learned, was that first and foremost I created the deafness to preserve my internal innocence in a world of projections of shoulds and how it was supposed to be in societal expectations.
What do you mean by that?
Over a prolonged period of time of not wanting to hear it, I created a physical deafness that genuinely blocked out the noise.
What didn't you want to hear?
I didn't want to hear other people's stories of what I should or should not be doing. I think that if we tell ourselves a story over and over and over and over and over again, eventually it becomes our physical reality. And simultaneously, when I studied the gene keys, I found out that I have deafness in my gene keys chart. And when I read that, that's when I was really like, okay, I'm paying attention. And I learned that the greatest challenge is also your greatest gift. And deafness also actually leads to the ability to see beyond the words. There has been countless amount of gifts that have been born from it. However, specifically the ability to read energy. I can be in this space with somebody and be with them for 2 seconds and I'll get a full read of where they're at, and any suppressed energy that sits in the body, usually after about 30 minutes. Since I've been giving myself the right frame, the supportive frame around what is happening, it's gone from a burden to a gift. And I believe that every single person on this planet is dealt certain cards, certain hands that are really challenging. And simultaneously, I truly believe that within inside that challenge is the seed of your greatest gift and your service to the planet. And I've committed my life to supporting people to find out what that is.
I feel like you're one of those people that I could just keep talking to all day, just hours and hours. I just want to listen to you. So thank you for dropping all the wisdom. I would love to go into whatever other activities you have planned or whatever you want to do.
Well, there's one other thing that I've talked about just now, which is the Gene Keys, which I would love to have a look at your chart and just share a little bit of the wisdom of the teachings of the Gene Keys created by a man named Richard Rudd that has radically changed my life. And I think they could be a really fun part of my day, because after the content creation, usually I do a session with somebody.
Let's do it. I've heard so much about the Gene Keys from you and a bunch of other people. I'm very excited.
Open my heart, find my way back home. Walk through the shadows, my truth is all I've ever known.
So first of all, what is the Gene Keys?
That's a great question to start with. So the Gene Keys is a grand synthesis of, essentially it's based off of two technologies. It is the astrology, which is your natal chart, the moment that you're born, the precision of the coordinates in which you were born, and then you cross-section it with an ancient text called the I Ching. It's an ancient text created by a Chinese emperor 5,000 years ago, which basically breaks down the 64 archetypes of the human experience. When you cross-section your astrology with the I Ching, it gives your own unique archetypes that run predominantly through you. The best part about all of this is that everybody has a superpower. Everybody has something inside of them that no one else can do on the planet. Whether they find it in this life, that's up to them.
Does the Gene Keys have anything to do with your genetics?
It's not directly tied to your biology, but more so the DNA based off of your prenatal chart of the soul signature that your body chose to incarnate into. So it's more on the mystical side of things than it is on the scientific side of things. I was skeptical going into it at the beginning until I've done hundreds of readings for people and they've all been pinpointly accurate. I've also experienced profound activations within my own consciousness of my own study around it that has transformed so many challenges in my life. So it's worked for me.
Great, let's dive in.
Right off the bat, okay, so your life's work is Gene Key number 8, which is exquisiteness. What that really means, you make your life up as you go along. You are somebody from birth that there's a pulse inside of you that you make up the rules. You are the entrepreneur. You decide how it looks. You decide the way that your videos go. But usually your videos, because of your life's work of exquisiteness, are here to tap into those that are doing things differently and bring them out, because it's actually the default of how you operate. It says that you are a basin of uniqueness in a world where sameness is glorified.
I think I'm obsessed with the most unique people I can find, because it's what I know is in me that I'm sometimes afraid to express.
You're outwardly going to seek individuals that are in that expression, because it's inwardly actually the thing that keeps your pulse going.
Yeah. I'm like, what would the world be without these people? Life would be boring without them.
And these are the people that are going to change the course of humanity. It's not the ones that did everything the same and created the same mindset that got us all into this is going to get us out of it. It's not. It's going to be the unique ones, and this is part of your life's work. It's actually your life's work. You need to realize that the secret to your success is effective support from people whom you trust.
I definitely have a hard time trusting people, professionally and just in life in general. Like, I've always keep quite a distance, because trust means a lot to me. And I'm still even learning to trust myself fully.
And so this is actually what you're here to learn. You are here to learn to love the unknown. There is a force that moves through all human beings, and you are here to discover that force and set your whole trust in it. Wherever it may lead you, your life will lead you into trials and into dangerous situations where maybe a satanic man will be rubbing a chicken all over your body. Oh, sorry, I read that wrong. That's not what it said. You will learn about fear and its limitations. As long as you put your faith in life as it moves through you, no experience can hurt you. In fact, every experience you have becomes the very thing that shatters your heart open.
Damn. Got chills.
So that's really just a small snippet that I will let you chew on.
I'm chewing. If you could share a message in one sentence that would be broadcasted to all of humanity, what would you share?
I would say that your greatest challenge in life, the thing that has been most challenging for you, that continues to resurface, also has within it the seed of your greatest gift and your biggest service to the planet. And it is your responsibility to find that. Only you can be the creator of your experience. No one is here to save you. But the beautiful thing is about that no one's here to save you is that you have the power to make a shift.
drop, insert a explosion. I'm excited for people to watch this.
We had fun from the start to the finish.
We did.
So good.
Well, check out Blue's podcast, Deja Blue, and all of her social media. I'll put links in the video description. Please comment what you learned. Please like this video and share it. Thank you for welcoming us into your life. That's it for this episode of Skylife. The adventure continues.
Got a lot of time on our hands, yeah, don't have to rush a thing, don't you know?